Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi
Janavallabha Givanadhari.
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari.
Gopi Janavallabha Givanadhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana.
Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana.
Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana.
Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Matira Banachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Banachari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari.
Gopi Janavallabha Givanadhari.
Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari.
Gopi Janavallabha Givanadhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jamuna Tira Banachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jamuna Tira Banachari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radhika Raman Radha Damodar Giriju Ki Jai Ho. Om Agana Timarandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshu and Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Mahavandanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvashe Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to offer my heartfelt Puspanjali to the lotus feet of my Harinam Diksha Guru, our Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Second of all, to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, to Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, and to our entire Guru Parampara. especially to Sachinandan Gaur Hari for manifesting Siksastaka. And also today is a very special day also. Today is the disappearance day of one of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta's very dear disciples, Bhakti Jivan Janardhana Goswami Maharaj. It's his disappearance day, and in a few days it's his appearance day. He disappeared and appeared very close to each other at this time. And so I don't really know so much about him, but I did meet him actually. I was very fortunate to meet him. When I went on the first Navadvip Parikrama with the Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, I think it was 1993, I think it was. I was still in ISKCON at the time. He was on that Navadvip Parikrama with Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami, Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj. He was there. And I didn't speak any Hindi, Bengali, or anything. It was my first, you might say, Gaudiya Mat Parikrama. It was quite overwhelming. All Bengali, Bengali, Bengali. There was no English translations in those days, but it was an ocean of Gaur Prem. It was so beautiful. You just kind of swept along in the ocean of thousands of Bengalis and Gaur Prem. And he was there, and I remember that I could feel that he was very close in mood to Srila Narayan Maharaj, Gurudev. And later, after he passed away, I happened to be with Srila Gurudev in Bombay when he passed away. This was 1994, I think it was. I think it was 1994, 95. And Srila Narayan Maharaj wasn't feeling so well at that time. He was actually going to the Hinduja hospital, staying in the ISKCON temple. And he said if I wasn't sick, I would go there and immediately console his disciples. And then he said to me, he was closest to me in mood. Closest to me in mood. It's very interesting. And I could feel that when I met him on the Parikrama, because he was, even though I didn't understand a word he was saying, of course, or what anyone was saying, but he was always chanting Radhe, Radhe. Always chanting Radhe, Radhe. And you could see in his Harikatha, it was always Radharani this, Radharani that. Yeah, I could tell, even though I didn't know what the in-between words were, like this. And he was very, very sweet, extremely sweet. And he didn't stay at the Mat particular, he stayed at another tract of land near the Jamuna, which is now where the Samadhi of Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Maharaj is. And I haven't been there near, so I don't know what else is there. But he stayed there, that's where he stayed. And one time I went there for lunch, actually, with a God Sister of mine. She took me there, and so I got to meet him personally. But we didn't really speak so much, but I could feel his magnanimity, you know, his all-pervading mercy, you might say. But I don't know if he spoke English. I have no idea. He didn't speak English to me, that's for sure. But he was very, very compassionate. You could just feel that. And then later, after he had passed away, I went with one Vaishnava, was taking a group of devotees around, and we went to his place in Kharagpur. He had his bhajan kutir in his temple. I think he only really had one temple, and that was, and his samadhi is there too. It's in Kharagpur. It's in Bengal. And it was very amazing because when we went into his bhajan kutir, where he'd spend all of his time and where he passed away, you could just feel the potency. And when he passed, he was chanting Radhe, Radhe, like this. You could feel that. It was very strong, like that. He appeared in Orissa, Kunjan. I think the name of the town is Kunjan. I might not be saying it right. Kunjan. Yeah. And I think it's close to Puri. I think, because there was a story that, not a story, a pastime that Bhaktivedanta Bharti Goswami Maharaj tells about him, or about that town. That town's considered very special for two things. One is that they take a certain kind of rice, kanji rice or something, and no one else takes this kind of rice, and they don't take any other kind of rice. And they take the rice and they stick it in the ground, or can't remember. I couldn't even understand what. Anyhow, it's a special kind of rice. And they take this rice and no other rice. Nobody else takes this kind of rice. And also during a huge storm, I guess a tornado, hurricane, when most of Orissa was devastated. We all probably remember. That was some years ago, but it was very devastating. Every place was devastated. Even Katak, that's how you say it. Everything destroyed. But this town of Kunjan, which is on the ocean, nothing was not touched. And I think Puri itself was like this. So very special places. And other devotees have appeared from there. Who was it? I think Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj is from there. Yeah, he's from there too. And then there was someone else, I can't remember who the other person was, that is from Kanjan. Can't remember. Anyhow, we pray for his mercy on this day, because the Vaishnavas are always compassionate and merciful. And we need the mercy of the sadhus. If we don't have the mercy of the sadhus, there's no way for us to make progress, because we're tiny and insignificant. There's no way on our own that we can stand up under the extreme weight of the material energy, you might say. The material Shakti, the Maya Shakti, is so powerful. She's the Shakti of Krishna. And we're just tiny, insignificant. So we are always dependent on Shri Guru and the sadhus. And if they give us their Shakti, this chit ball, this transcendental strength, will hold us up under the weight of the onslaught of Maya, And eventually, as we're being held up and we're actually trying to take the teachings of the gurus and the Vaishnavas to heart and practice them sincerely, honestly, we may not be able to be number one in the class. We not be able to do everything really well. But if we're sincerely trying, and when we have problems, when we're sincerely begging for help, begging for forgiveness, because we're so addicted to our past bad habits, it doesn't mean, necessarily killing or this or that, but a bad habit just of thinking bad thoughts, criticizing this and that. It's just hard to give our eating too much, sleeping too much. It's hard for us. We're conditioned souls. But if we get this mercy from the Vaishnavas, it's so strong. As we say over and over again, because every day we're supposed to chant Vaishnava Vandanam by Devakinandan Prabhu, they have the power to liberate a whole universe. That's powerful. A whole universe. Of course, universes are also very tiny and insignificant, but anyhow, they have a lot of strength. So they can easily hold us up and help us actually progress in our path of bhakti until we actually attain the level of bhav and prem. But still, always will be under their shelter. Always. Even when we have prem. We're still Tatasta Shakti, and we're always in a sadhu sangha. But at that point, it'll be in the sangha of the Brijvasis, and they will have accepted us in their family. We'll be part of Krishna's family. And this is what's important. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his song, I forget the name of the song. What's that? It ends up Harinam, Jiva Doi Harinam Sarva Dharma Sari. Nadia Godruma, that's it. Nadia Godruma. In the very last sloka, he gives the essence. I can't remember the Bengali. Yeah, Krishna or Samsara. Yeah, so you become part of Krishna's family. His samsara, you become part of Krishna's samsara. Give up your bad habits. Harinam Jiva Doi. Simple. But that's that sambandha. Sambandha, and the Vaishnavas, they give us that. You can become part of our family, isn't it? It's a family at this point, in Gaur Leela, the family of Krishna in the form of Gaur. Gaur Sachinanda, and we become part of his family and his associates. Part of the family of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Not only that, part of the family of Lord Brahma. We have to be in a Sampradaya. We're not in the Lakshmi Sampradaya, Chatusan, we're in the Brahma Sampradaya. Like this, Brahma Madhva, Narada, Vedavyas, this is our family. We're so fortunate. And they have power. Narada Muni, he's in our Sampradaya. So power, he's traveling everywhere. And he's also Madhu Mangal, Naradiya Gopi. So we should be very, very thankful and grateful. And in one sense, there's a certain kind of good pride. Not the pride that I'm so wonderful, but the pride that, wow, I've been accepted into the Gaudiya Vaishnava family. Mahaprabhu, Nitai has accepted me, especially Nitai. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, our whole Guru Parampara. So Bhakti Jivan Janardhana Goswami is a permanent member of this family. And we beg for his mercy that we can we are part of that family, that we become out of the category of maybe being a disgraceful part of the family or not such an attractive part of the family, that we become real Rupanugas, isn't it? That we can follow the ideal character of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, with the blessings of Swarup Damodar, Rairana, Namacharya Shil Haridas Thakur, Gadai Gauranga, like this, Madhavendra Puri, that they'll be very happy to see us. Of course, the mother, they're like mothers, are happy to see the child, even if the child's passing stool and urine. But we don't always want to be a baby. And in fact, we're expected to get out of the baby category. We're expected to become teenagers, then young adults, and then adults like this. Actually, pure Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So that we also can carry their message, carry their chit ball, and help others. That's a Jiva Doi, assist in Jiva Doi, like that. And it's done in many ways. Everyone's an individual. Everyone has their own unique way of chanting Harinam, helping Mahaprabhu in his mission to save the conditioned souls. Like you see with Gorkishore Das Babaji, he was a Babaji. He didn't go around the world preaching. But look what his one disciple did, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, like this. So some may be solitary more, because he was speaking to many people who came to see him. It's not that he wasn't preaching at all. More like Lokanath Das Goswami. He really wasn't, he very much absorbed in his bhajan with Radharaman. But he was purifying the whole world by his bhajan, setting an example like this. So Bhakti Jivan Janardhana Goswami Maharaj, he was really setting an example of bhajan. He wasn't preaching all over the world. He wasn't even preaching all over India. But his whole bhajan was spreading all over like this, you see? Purifying the atmosphere of all the unwanted pollution in the atmosphere, of all the gramya kata that's going on, and worse than gramya kata, the demoniac kata going on. Like this. So we offer our respects to Bhakti Jivan Janardhana Goswami Maharaj and beg for his mercy. Vancha kalpatuvishcha, kripa sindhubhyavicha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Okay, now we're moving through Siksastaka to verse number 2. And in the Gambhira, when Mahaprabhu was with Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, and he was absorbed in his moods, high ecstasies. These are sanchari bhavs. They're coming like a wave, a high wave, and going down in his sthai bhav. And coming and going and coming and going, and sometimes banging against each other and like this. So after he had revealed the first verse, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, which is the nutshell for all the verses, everything is there. Just like in our heart, everything of our Swarup and our Bhav is there in our heart, but it's not manifested. So in the first verse of Siksastaka Chaito Darpana Marjanam, everything is there, but then it has to bloom and manifest. So the second verse, let's see if I can get it right. Nam nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis tatarpita niyamita smarane nakalaha itadrasi tavakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam idrisa mihajani nanuragaha. So what is the nature of sadhan bhajan? What is sadhan bhajan? What is the process? So we know the sambandha, we become part of the family of Mahaprabhu. What is the process? Chanting the holy name. And this holy name is incredible. We've talked about it. This holy name is powerful. Sarva Shakti. All power is there. So what does that mean? And Krishna's invested all power in the names. What does that mean? That means he in himself and Radharani, who is a Swarup Shakti, the embodiment of all, she is Swarup Shakti. She's there in the holy name, Hare Krishna. Krishna's there himself, Radharani's there herself, like this. But the living entities, even though this name has been given by Mahaprabhu himself to us, coming down to the bona fide sampradaya, and I learned something very interesting. Only our sampradaya really has the secrets of the holy name. The other sampradayas don't. Srila Narayan Maharaj has spoken about that in his book here called the Harinam Mahamantra. I didn't know that before. Our sampradaya is very special. Lord Brahma spoke the secrets of the holy name to Narada Muni way back when. And it's kind of like a secret. They may have the holy name, but not all the secrets of the holy name. So we're very fortunate to be part of the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And all these secrets were also revealed by Mahaprabhu himself and given to Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, Swarup Damodar, the 6 Goswamis. So we're coming down to us, giving to us by Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Gurudev, all of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's disciples. There's very, very deep secrets in this holy name. This holy name actually has the ability to manifest our potential. If we receive the holy name from Satguru, from someone who actually has Shrinam, not that just a concocted or something that's filled with material desires, but coming down through the pure line, someone who has Harinam, actually has realized Harinam, coming from the spiritual world. If we receive Harinam from that person and we follow his instructions, sadhu sangha, this holy name, just chanted sincerely and continuously, doesn't say how long, continuously, will actually take us through all the stages of bhakti. And everyone's different. Some may go quickly, some may go slow, until we actually attain bhav and prem. This mantra is called, what do they call it? Patraka? It will reveal the holy Radha and Krishna. We don't need any, there's a name for it, I forgot what it is. Anyhow, it's either Patraka or Taraka. Oh, maybe it's Taraka. It's here. No, anyhow, it doesn't. Oh, it's right here. Paraka. Paraka mantra. I mean, it helps one to attain Radha and Krishna. It's a Paraka mantra. Yes. And by this mantra alone, one will attain Krishna Prem. And there's no other way, no other way, no other way. So if one thinks he can, I've heard now that there's, I don't know if it's still going on, there's some, we won't mention who, is saying, all you have to do is say Nitai and write Nitai's name in the air. Then everything will come. This is concoction. This is not true. Mahaprabhu said, Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalo. All of our Guru Prabhupada, Harinam, Harinam. Not only that, there's so many personalities who claim to be Vaishnavas, maybe even Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or whatever, and they chant many kinds of mantras. You know, it's very popular. They chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Ram Radhe Govinda. This is a very popular mantra. Another one, Nitai Gaur Radhe Sham Hare Krishna Hare Ram. All these mantras, they're names of Krishna. They're not bad, but this is not the Patraka, Paraka mantra or the Nam that will give us praying for Krishna. It will not. Or if we're thinking that Ram in the Maha Mantra means Ramachandra, it's not. No, we have to understand it's Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna. So powerful. No one more powerful. Nothing more powerful. And it's been given to us because we're so fallen in Kali Yuga. This has been given to us very easily. There's no rules and regulations, as this verse says. Of course, in one sense, no rules and regulations according to time, place, and this. But if we really want to attain Krishna Prem, and we've got from Satguru the Nam, and we're in association with Sat Vaishnavas, then we have to follow their instructions. And Prabhupada, he laid the ground rules for Srila Prabhupada, because he went all over the world. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, basic rules. In fact, you have to become a human being. Only take Mahaprasadam, don't eat boga, like this. There are some basic rules, but the name is so powerful, Prabhupada, we talked about this before, he said, even if they're meat eating and they don't stop, I will give the holy name, and I know by the power of the holy name they will stop they will stop this meat eating, they'll stop their intoxication. But he never had to do that because just by Prabhupada's potency, just by the potency of Sri Guru and Sri Vaishnavas who are like this, they're full of Braj Prem. They're just emanating it. So I know my experience was as soon as I met Prabhupada, and even before I met Prabhupada actually, just the power of his presence on the earth and the power of his holy name that was dancing all over the world, we easily gave up all these things. Easily. And even Mahaprasadam was kind of floating in. We found that here and there, Until finally we came in contact really with the devotees and with the temples, and it was very easy. It was not difficult. Not difficult at all. Yeah, very easy. This is the potency of the holy name. Radha and Krishna's mercy. The most important Shakti in this holy name is mercy. Because why? Because actually Srimati Radhika is the Prem Guru of Krishna, so she's his Shakti, So what is her most amazing quality? Mercy. Karunamayi, Kripamayi Radhe. Kalyani, always giving auspiciousness. This is what she wants. She wants everyone to have Krishna Prem. She wants everyone to be able to assist her in serving Sri Krishna in whatever way they want. Like this, whatever is their natural propensity. So, we should chant, chant, chant. But as this verse says, unfortunately, I'm very unfortunate. I'm Durdaiva. And for us, what does that mean? Unfortunate. We have so many offenses. We've committed so many offenses in the past, and maybe still in the future, still right now, because probably we're maybe inadvertently criticizing, maybe not verbally, but in our mind, judging, because it's a habit we have. Because we came to the material world with being covered by ignorance. And from ignorance comes our worst two enemies, envy and lust. Lust and envy. Everything's coming from envy and lust. And when one is lusty, one is envious, one's going to not think good about someone else, because we're going to be envious that they have more than we do, or they have something we don't have. So then we're going to, even if we don't say it, we're going to think thoughts that are not conducive for bhakti. Like this. And we may not express it at all, but it's in our heart, and Radha and Krishna know. Sri Guru knows. They know. They know what's in our heart, right? So we have to be honest, very honest. Keep chanting. This is the point here. We have to keep chanting. We try very seriously. We will talk again about the 10 offenses, not today, even though we did that in the Madhurya Kadamini class, because it's important. If we don't want to be offensive, we have to really know what the 10 offenses are, like this. And there's an article by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Envy, Matsarya. And in there he talks about who is non-envious. And in there it's the person who doesn't commit the 10 offenses. That person is non-envious, always thinking good for someone else. Because that person is understood quite clearly. He is not filled with avidya, ignorance anymore. He has vidya, transcendental knowledge. What? This material world's an illusion. It's not our home. It's completely illusory. So why do we need to get upset about anything? We don't. It's an illusion. It's a dream. It's not our home. And we're not the enjoyers. He knows I'm not the enjoyer. I'm not the doer. I can't enjoy anything. I can't do anything. Because he's had knowledge given to him by Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, especially like this simple Bhagavad Gita. Can we as human beings or any living entity live without sunlight? No. Not possible. Even the materialistic scientists know that, who are fools. No. And Krishna says, I'm the light of the sun and the moon. Simple. He's the seed-giving father of all living entities. Everything's coming from him, like pearls on a thread, right? So simple, basic. Even small children who come to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada would say that there's one little girl, Saraswati. She used to be with him here in Vrindavan and around the world because her mother and father traveled with Prabhupada. He was the secretary, Malati and Shyamasundar. And he would say, even Saraswati can preach. Even she can preach. She can tell, Krishna's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chant Hare Krishna. Everything's Krishna's. It belongs to Krishna. We have to give everything to Krishna. Simple. Krishna consciousness is for the simple-minded, not for the crooked. The crooked is very difficult because they actually know the truth, but because they're too lusty and too envious, they don't want the truth. They try and hide the truth, isn't it? Like this. Like this. And it's that, and sometimes it's very uncontrollable, this lust. I want. The tongue wants, the ears want, the nose wants, the eyes want, the mind wants something other than Krishna's seva. I want to enjoy. And as soon as we see something, this fridge. I have this picture of Radharani. Do I remember it's Radharani's fridge? Everything in there is so that we can help assist Radharani in cooking for Krishna? No, it's my fridge. Everything in there is mine. Don't you dare come and take anything out of my fridge. That's mine. This is my room. Gandharva Giridhari's room. You can't come in here. You certainly can't take that. And not only that, if you come here, you have to do what I say because it's my room. You don't dare tell me what to do in my room. Isn't it? I, me, and mine according to the material body. I am the controller. I'm the proprietor. I'm the enjoyer. And of course, I'm the friend of all. I love you so much, as long as you love me. As long as you don't have more than me. This is our durdaivam, our misfortune, our great misfortune. Great misfortune. But by the mercy of the words, the Harikatha, coming from Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, they cut through. It's a sword that cuts the knots in our heart, then cuts the illusion like this. And we're so fortunate we have a human form of birth. We are fortunate in that sense. We have a human form of birth. And so we're very fortunate that we've met Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. We're very fortunate that we've heard their Harikatha, either through the Shastras or through their actual words. And it's being cut. Our illusion is being cut, isn't it? We're so fortunate. So fortunate. So we need to keep chanting and chanting under proper guidance. And this verse, it encompasses, because Siksastaka encompasses the holy name, the stages of Bhakti, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, all this. So at this verse indicates this bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, like this. So we'll talk about all these particular aspects, but I wanted to talk a little bit also about, because it also indicates Radha Krishna's Astakaliya Leela. For those who are not involved in prem, we're concentrating on the process of bhakti and aspiring to become, a maidservant of Srimati Radhika, or if a cowherd boy, whatever, like this. First of all, an associate of Mahaprabhu, right? Follower of Rupa Goswami, following the ideal. But this Namna Makari Bauda Nidya Sarva Shaktis, and the second set of Hare Krishna, because it also goes with the holy name, indicates Prata Lila. Prata Lila is after Nishant Lila. Chaito Darpana Marjanam was Shraddha and Nishant Lila for Radha and Krishna. That's the morning when they're waking up. Prata Lila is after they've gone home. Radha and Krishna have gone home. This is what the Bhav Bhakta or the Premi Bhakti, if he's chanting, this is what he's thinking. And what to speak of someone who's maybe just meditating, someone like Rupa Goswami, as soon as they chant the first Hare, they're in their swarupas, Rupa Manjari, in Leela. This is what the holy name will give us. When we attain prema at the highest level, we will chant and we will enter Leela. No longer, when we're in this stage, will we be able to chant 3 lakhs. We won't even be able to chant Hare Krishna because we will be absorbed in our internal identity as maidservant of Srimati Radhika. And in this morning time, there's so much seva. So much, and Rupa Goswami has given this in his Kalika Valari and so many of his books, some of his writings in Stavamala, Raghunath Das Goswami in his Vilap Kushmantali and Stavavali, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, especially in his Sankalpa Kalpadruma. What to speak of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in his Krishna Govinda Lilamrita, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Krishna Bhavanamrita. And then there's a Krishnanika Kamudi of Kavi Karnapur, the Ananda Vrindavan Champu of Kavi Karnapur. These things are there. Slowly, gradually, we can meditate on the pastimes with a desire to enter. Not that, oh, now I am a manjari, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now, then it becomes sahajya. We should be very, very careful. When, oh, when, oh, when we'll even have a desire for this? When, oh, when? Oh, holy name, you've come with everything. You've come with all the pastimes. You're Nam, you're the Dham, you're the Leela, because Krishna's not alone. Vrindavan Dham is always there helping, always with Krishna, always Radha and Krishna. That's where they are. Wherever they are is Vrindavan, like this. That's why, I forget who it was. Anyhow, when Mahaprabhu, when he was in Nilachala, and they would say, I forget what was it? He was lamenting that he wasn't in Vrindavan, and forget, one of his associates would say, but wherever you are is Vrindavan. Because it's true. What was Mahaprabhu when he was running the Chatak Parvat? This is Govardhan. Even the ocean, this is Jamuna. All he was seeing was, Sri Vrindavan Dham, and he was actually entering into the pastimes, always by chanting, So ultimately, this is what Harinam will take us to this. Anyhow, in the morning pastimes, Radha and Krishna, they're in their, one's in Nandagram, one's in Javat, or sometimes in Barshana, and they're waking up, and they're feeling some separation. But still there's so many pastimes, so many sevas, waking up. And there's one famous pastime, I'm sure you've all heard it, Srimati Radhika is waking up, and her grandmother comes, Mukara, whatever. She comes, and Srimati Radhika, because when she was leaving the Kunja, she was wearing Krishna's yellow chadar, and nobody really notices because they're too much absorbed in other aspects of the Leela. So Mukara says, oh, wait a minute, I thought I saw that chadar on Krishna last night. How is this? And she's old, she's grandmother, So immediately Lalita's, oh dear, or Rupa, and they're all thinking, oh, we forgot, we just hadn't paid attention to this. But Vishaka is very clever. She has to be very careful because this is grandmother. You can't just say you fool or something. She says, you old lady. The word is jarati, maybe? I forget. Jarati. Anyhow, the word for old lady. She says, oh, you old lady. Your eyesight is becoming weak. You just can't understand that the sun is coming up, and when the sun is going through the blue, it makes it yellow. Just see, look, there's the sun. And so Mukara, of course, because she looks to where the sun is coming up. And of course, immediately Rupa Manjari Raja takes the yellow and puts the blue, her normal blue veil upon her. Like this. And when Mukara looks back, then Vishaka says, just see, it's blue, see? Your eyes are bad. And poor Mukara, she gets all embarrassed. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that. No. Now I'm going to see Krishna. And she goes off, to see Krishna. These kind of wonderful pastimes are going on. And in with Mukara had come Jatila, because Jatila, being the mother-in-law, cannot go by herself. She can't go in. There's some kind of restrictions like this. But Mukara can come because she used to breastfeed, She's the mother of the mothers. So she comes more often than Kirtina, Radharani's own mother, comes. So she goes to see Krishna. So then she runs off to see Krishna, and Jatila goes back to making cow patties. And they're waking up. So Srimati Radharani's waking up, and there's so many sevas at that time for the manjaris. They can clean this, do this, and they're getting ready for her bath. And there's unlimited pastimes within each time of the day. We can spend hours just talking about this one time of day. There's so many unlimited pastimes there, like this. So one who's actually progressing in their chanting, they'll not only just be praying to the holy name for purification, for qualification, but because of having heard some pastime, they can remember with a desire to enter in. And then one gets great joy, and one automatically loses the taste for mundane material activities. I mean, you think about it, it's so boring. The material world, all the activities in the world, what's so fun? What's so fun? Well, let's see, where I grew up, we were mountain climbers and this and that. We loved to ski. Skiing, That's so boring after, just, you get this big buzz zooming down the mountain which you might kill yourself, it's very dangerous. Hare Krishna. What else do people like to do? Oh, they like to play games, but everything's so stale. It might be really nice for a few times, but it's so stale, Or going to a party. Well, to make the party fun, because everyone's bored out of their minds, they have to take intoxications, right? And they have to do this and that to be in some kind of super consciousness so they're not bored. It's like Hare Krishna. And so you can see all these lights and all these things, and phantasmagoria. And then when it all stops, and then boom, you're sent down into the material world again, and oh no, this horrible place. But no, when we finally enter into Shri Nam, and we start chanting Shri Nam with some kind of faith, under this proper guidance, and hearing from proper authorities, proper sources, they'll give us, even Prabhupada, he gave us a Krishna book. We had so many nice pastimes to meditate on, even in the beginning when we were babies. Rasalila was there. Kalyani Vrat was there. So many Leelas were there. He gave us nectar of devotion, like this. And then as we progressed, more and more, Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj has given us so much. He has this Venu Geet, Gopi Geet, like this. And also he has his Raspajad, I never say, the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam with the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, like this. And when one actually becomes more qualified, then one gets the permission to maybe read Govinda Lilamrita. In Prabhupada's Krishna book, I forget exactly where, but somewhere in the Vrindavan part, he actually tells everyone that they should read Krishna Bhavanamrita. There is a sentence there where he talks about everyone should read Krishna Bhavanamrita. Unbelievable. He mentions it. Which is, I don't think you get, the only thing higher than that is Gopi Geet, which Srila Narayana Maharaj did. He presented to the world. And I know I've read it, not many times, but I read it. And when I read when I did read the Gita Govinda, I never felt any impurities coming, any lusty things coming, because it was presented by the proper source, in the proper way. And we read it as seva, as purification like this, And if we're ever reading or hearing and lust starts to come in us, we shut the book and we read Bhagavad Gita or something, or we go to another place, we stop, like this. Because this is, then we will become sahajas if we let this lust come when we're hearing Harikatha or we're chanting Hari name, the holy name, like this. We have to be very, very careful. We can't think that, oh, now I'm experiencing some astasattvic buzz when we're getting some kind of material buzz out of something. No. And this is what persons do. They either do it unconsciously because they don't know any better. Like sometimes people go to Leelas or this or that and they just get all excited and they think they've reached some level. And This is some material, something material. We have to be so careful, so careful. Prabhupada is really good. He gave a lecture, and I just sent it out actually. How can you judge if you're in the spiritual world or the material world? If you're envious. If you have any envy at all, you're in the material world. And you have no envy, you're in the spiritual world. And he says there's no, what was the word he used? There's no consideration of, oh, I'm more spiritually advanced. Because, no, you're either in the spiritual world or the material world. You're either envious or you're not envious. Even if you have a fraction of envy, you're not in the spiritual world. And you're not experiencing these high bhavs. If we don't understand this and practice this, we become sahaja. Or just plain old materialists. Like this, we're very careful. When will all these bhavs manifest that we're reading about? We read about in the Madhurya-Kundamini, that we'll read about in the Siksastaka. These are not cheap. This is not cheap. Because now, in Nam Nam Akari Bauda Nija Sarva Shaktis, in chanting, Sadhu Sangha, our auspiciousness starts to come, and our kleshagni, our miseries, start to go. But they're not gone. They're not completely gone. Like this. But sometimes we feel so much confidence because it's such a different experience than what we experienced when before we started to chant and we were properly initiated like this. So, oh yes, I'm very highly elevated. So we're coming in Bhajana Kriya to the 6 stages of Anishita Bhakti. This is what happens at our stage. You know, in this Nam Nam Akari Bhava. There's 6 stages. And we talked about them in the Madhurya-Kundamini. And this means we haven't even come to steady faith. We have faith, Shraddha's there. We believe Radha and Krishna are God and they're maintaining, but we don't really have steady faith. We're not fixed like this. We're surrendering. We know that service is a thing, but we do a lot of sense gratification too. In the name of service. maybe not in the name of service. So then we have these 6 stages. And the first one is Utsa Mahi. That's when we have initial enthusiasm. Most everyone, when they first come, they're very enthusiastic. Then after a while, when it gets hard, oof, oh dear. When the first initial enthusiasm, it's like when a student, it's the examples given of a student, they come into school and they're in 1st grade and they learn how to make A, B, C, and they think, wow, I'm a scientist, I'm really smart, hurry, ball, Mom, look at this A, B, C. Then after a while they realize there's a lot more to go before they're actually a real scientist or whatever. So then they have Ganataraha. That means thick and thin practice. That means sometimes you're able to practice really well. And you really think, oh, wow, now I've made it to Nishta, wow. But then in the next minute, wow, you can't even get out of bed. You could hardly chant. This is really tough, thick and thin. Can't maintain the enthusiasm, can't maintain even the number of rounds, whatever, can't maintain learning the slokas or remembering the slokas, whatever it is. Can't maintain going to Mangalarti or even getting up and doing it yourself. Can't maintain. Then what comes? Vyuta Vikalpa, oscillating resolve. This is a nice one. This is one pretty much everyone goes through except for a few. Should I get married or should I not get married? Should I marry a brahmachari? Should I become a grahasta? Which is more beneficial for me? I've heard that if you become a grahasta, then I've heard if you're, like this and this and this. And that's just one example of the oscillating resolve. I am never going to eat chocolate anymore. then someone brings you this really nice chocolate from Bolivia, where it comes from, or from Switzerland. I don't know where the best chocolate, And you don't ever buy it, but if it comes in, well, I think I'll give it to my neighbor. Well, I don't know. I think maybe I should offer it here. This is the last time. That's just one silly example. There's so many examples, right? I'm going to go barefoot all the time. This is the best. Then your feet become blistered, whatever. You got to wear shoes, right? I am always going to chant really good rounds. I'm really going to concentrate. I'm not going to let my mind go here and there. And then the next thing you know, your mind is off in Switzerland, thinking about your boyfriend over there or whatever. Hare Krishna. Okay, am I going to become a grahastha or am I going to remain a brahmachari? What are we going to do? So one takes shelter of Shri Guru and the Vaishnavas. And it doesn't really matter what you do. Then what matters is we chant Hare Krishna. And we start to understand we're a spirit soul. And we try and let Guru and Vaishnavas and Super Soul in the heart. We have to start to come to hear Super Soul in the heart, who is a very good friend, and follow our heart. Not our mad mind, but the actual heart, where Super Soul is, Checha Guru. He can guide us what's best for us. And you see in our line, Narottam Das Thakura, Brahmachari, Srinivasachari, he had 2 wives. Great Vaishnavacharyas. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Grahastha, Bhakti Siddhanta, Brahmachari. So this doesn't matter. Okay, so next we have Vishaya Sangara, struggling with sense enjoyment. Whoa. Wow, this is not hard, is it? No, it's not hard. Oh my God, it's freezing in Vrindavan. It's January. Can I just go to Puri or South India to some clinic or something? Let me get out of here. It's so cold. Or it's June in Vrindavan. It's 50 degrees. I don't have an AC and I'm just melting away. Of course, we do have to think about our health, but still we have to understand, because we're not so fixed in our devotional service, isn't it? And knowing the value of Vrindavan, and knowing that Vrindavan can help us. We can't imitate the devotees, but we should at least be honest and understand that this just means we're kind of down here in sadhu sangha, nartana, vritti, bhajana, kriya, desiring nishta. Also, when it comes to prasadam, I just read a nice. I was reading My Beloved Masters of Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. It was talking about one Vaishnava. I can't remember. Was it Giri Maharaj? I can't remember which one. No, it was Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj. And Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj was serving him. He served so many Vaishnavas. And he was a young devotee at the time. And he saw that Bhakti Shranga Goswami Maharaj would take all the preparations that were brought to him, the sweet rice, the karela, the rice, the dal, everything, and he mixed them all together before honoring. And he asked him, he says, well, now you're not going to be able to relish all the individual tastes. And he said, no, this is not the way to honor Mahaprasadam, to let my tongue enjoy different tastes. No, I want to just honor Mahaprasadam for prasadam, like this. So what do we have next? Niyamakshama, inability to uphold vows. I will chant a lakh every day. This is an example Srila Gurudev gave himself. But after 2 days, you get typhoid, and you got this headache that's just like too many, and everything. You can't even function. There's no lack. No lack chanting. We're not capable. We can't uphold our vows so well. We try to have a minimum, a vow. Like Prabhupada had his minimum of 16 vows, and everyone has their minimum given to them by Sri Guru. And we try, and when we can't do it, and immediately when we can, we try and pick ourselves up and do it again, like this. Or Okay, I'm going to be very renounced. I'm never going to take milk again. But you get sick. The doctor says you have to have milk. So you take milk. Like this. I'm going to be a brahmachari the rest of my life. And then this beautiful devotee walks by. And, oh, well, I think I changed my mind. You know? So we're just desiring to make the words of our spiritual master our life and soul. We're honest about the fact that we're not so capable always to be able to do so well. But we're going to not give up chanting Hare Krishna. Even if we're sick and dying, we're still, at least we can hear it chanting on the iPod or whatever you have. You can hear the chanting if you're just really, really too sick or something. But chant, chant, chant. Like this. We don't give it up, even if it's not such high quality, like this. And if we keep chanting, we still have one more level of anisita bhakti. This is Taranga Rangini, and this is one of the most difficult. Taranga Rangini. When one is starting bhakti, when one is practicing bhakti, a lot of good qualities come. One becomes sweet, one becomes merciful, one becomes able to speak some nice Harikatha, sing some nice kirtan. So many nice qualities come, and they become kind of effulgent. And then what happens? Followers come. Money comes. So many things come. And instead of just taking this and offering to Sri Guru and giving and only using what's necessary for one's service, one begins to enjoy the benefits of bhakti, of what's come. This is very difficult, especially the hardest one, pratishta, name and fame. This is our hardest struggle all the way up to the top, pratishta. And it's called like outcast dancing woman in the heart. Who?
Prostitute.
Oh yeah, prostitute. Outcast dancing prostitute in our heart. That's what Raghunath Das Goswami says, right, in Manashiksha. Yeah. So this is difficult, very difficult. So we have to keep taking shelter, and we have to take shelter of devotees who are honest with us. Even we may not always be able to have the topmost association externally. We always have our association of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas in our heart, in the Shastras, in their teachings. But still, our God brothers, our God sisters, they may not be on the highest platform, but we seek out those who are honest and really want our well-being. And we have istagosi with them, using the Shastras, using the words, and we help each other, you know, and we talk about, oh, I'm really having trouble with this. You know, and we talk about the pitfall of pratishta. And we talk about, and we don't go around, oh, you gave such really nice Harikatha, you know. No, we're very careful with each other. And if I, you know, how'd you like my Harikatha? Was it, you know, good? Well, it's okay, but, you know, Hare Krishna. And then, you know, and it's like, well, I'm just praying to become a message carrier for the Guru Parampara. Was I carrying the message okay? Like this. We're not the doer. We're the message carriers. We're an instrument for the Guru Parampara. Like this. You know, if anything is good, it's a great lecture. Wasn't me. That means Prabhupada Gurudev came and sat on my tongue. I'm so fortunate that I got to do a little service. If it's me sitting on the tongue, boy, it won't be that. We help each other. We help each other. We don't, you know, oh, yes, you're giving the best Harikatha. Oh, yes, you're the... We have to help each other. These are our actual friends. These are actual God brothers and God sisters who are honest with us. Yes, it was a great lecture. I think Gurudev's giving you some mercy. Really, really, he was speaking through you so well. Like this, you know. This is so much important that we have sincere, honest friends around us. Like this. We can see the good, but we also see the pitfalls, and we help each other not fall in the pitfalls, especially of, well, I'm actually the best singer around. Whoa, did you see all the girls crying when I was singing? Or when I was talking? Oh, they're all crying. The boys, it's harder to get them to cry, but anyhow. Really, we have to, this is a real thing. I've been in this lifetime trying to practice for 50 some years. I guess it is, yeah. And believe me, this is all prevalent everywhere, and especially in our own hearts. You know, we try and think it's not. We try and think we're so nice, and we're so sweet, and we're so pure, but we're not. We're conditioned souls. We have envy, we have lust, like this. So we need help. We need help. We need help from Sadgurus, Vaishnavas, and our associates like that. We need to help each other so that we can continue in the process in an honest way, in a sincere way. And we should know, this is why we're going to study. We're going to study, which we did in Madhurya Kadambini. Here we go again, but from another perspective. What are the symptoms of someone who's actually in Nishta? What are the symptoms of one who's actually in Ruchi or in Ashakti? What to speak of actually in Bhav? What to speak of actually in Prem? What to speak of all the different levels of Prem? So that we can't be cheated. We won't be cheated, we won't cheat others. Because I know it's very common that, oh, that devotee is so rasic. Well, that word rasic is very high. It means someone in Prem. Doesn't mean someone who just says some really sweet Hari Katha and they're full of lust, anger, and greed. That's not a rasic person. Like this. Oh, he has so much bhav. Well, what bhav is it? You know, we have to be very careful that we don't get cheated and we don't cheat others. So this Siksastaka is here to help us. Mahaprabhu has come with all of his associates to clear up all the misconceptions. He brought Radha and Krishna from Goloka Vrindavan. He is that. He brought the Dham, he brought the Nam, he brought the Leela, he brought everything. And he brought the solution for all controversies, all conflicts in his philosophy, Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. It's simultaneously one and difference. He reconciles all conflicts. There is no controversy, no conflicts when Krishna's in the center. If Krishna's in the center, there's no, Krishna's there, Radha and Krishna's there, there's no conflicts. So we have to understand gradually who is Krishna, what is the tattva of Krishna, how to serve Krishna like this, how to make him the center of our life. And it all comes through constantly chanting the holy name under proper guidance, in proper association. And if you're out there all by yourself in, let's say, Mexico, still you can have association. We talk about this time and time again. As soon as you get, this is Gaudiya Mat training. As soon as you get up, Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga, and you go through the entire Guru Parampara, the Jai Dwani. And in the morning, Gaudiya Mat does it 3 times. When you get up, after the Samsara prayers, after Mangalarti, and then after Tulsi, 4 times. Then at noon they do it 1 or 2 times. At night they do it. Always association. Because Sadguru and Vaishnava are none different than their name. There's no need to think you're alone and you have no association. Not necessary. If you simply invoke them by calling their name, like this, and following their instructions, which is, you do Jai Dwani, and you chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, and you chant the holy name. Where's the lack of association? In the holy name, Krishna, all of his associates there. All. And Mahaprabhu's also there. But he's remembering Radha and Krishna. This is what you understand. He's not Krishna acting with the gopis. He's Mahaprabhu remembering himself as Krishna and trying to, taste the moods of Srimati Radhika. So I think it's time to stop here. Anyhow, the second verse of Siksastaka, Nam Namakari Bahudani Jasarva Shaktis. Tatarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakalaha. Itadjasi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi. Durdaivam Idrisa Mihajani Nana Ragaha. Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. This Durdaivam, when you take it to the realm of prema and to Srimati Radhika, she's also thinking Durdaivam. I'm very unfortunate, especially when she's in separation from Krishna. Durdaivam. But she's thinking, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's my fate. My fate has separated us like this. And she'll say, this fate is written on my forehead by Brahma. Brahma has written our fate like this. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very humble. Srimati Radhika is so humble. She also sometimes feels very unfortunate. And it's her fault. But it's not really her fault. It's just the fate that's written on her forehead by Lord Brahma, our Adi Guru. Of course, Brahma really doesn't do that, but this is Leela. Leela. But how beautiful. How beautiful. But it's real for Srimati Radhika. It's not Leela for... This is... Srimati Radhika is Srimati Radhika. She is... What do you call it? The dictionary of truth. Anything you want to know the truth, let's say you go to the dictionary, the encyclopedia, you just go to Srimati Radhika and she's got the answer. Prem, what is prem? Look at Srimati Radhika. Like this, you see? She is the absolute, she is the tattva of all tattvas, the truth of all truth. Karunamayi, Kripamayi, Srimati Radhika. Jai, Vanchakalpatarvisa, Kripa Sindhu Bhivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna
Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Radha Raman Jaya Radha Raman Radha Raman Jaya Radha Raman.
Jaya Radha Raman, Jaya Radha Raman, Radha Raman, Jaya Radha Raman.
Jaya Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana Giri Raja Jaya Govardhana.
Jaya Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana, Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana.
Jai Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai Jai Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Garanga Gandharva Giri Radhika Radha Damodar Giriju Ki Jai.